Tab Bank, one of the world's largest and most prominent banks, has made its debut. They have a speedy settlement service. Powered by blockchain technology, many members of the XRP community are now concerned that this product will kill both Ripple and XRP. Continue reading to the end to find out more. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, check out this new video right now. Hello and welcome to our channel, where we discuss the newest XRP news and the cryptocurrency world in general. If you are watching one of our videos for the first time, we will gladly offer you a special greeting. We encourage you to enable notifications so you never miss any video. We are pleased to announce that this channel is hosting a 200 XRP giveaway. To be eligible to participate, simply subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment with the hashtag XRP. The winner will be notified on September 30th. I'll share my thoughts with you in this video, but you already know whether or not I'm concerned about the city's new product, which will have significant institutional volume. You'll have a much better understanding of what's going on. In this case, you must see the entire film. I'd want to start this video by sharing a tweet I saw earlier today that I thought was rather fascinating. This list of the top 10 Bitcoin owners in the world is something I had never seen before. I'll just read you the top 10 list, right? It has piqued my attention, so perhaps you will as well. Satoshi Nakamoto is the world's biggest Bitcoin investor. The grayscale scale is ranked. The second Binance is ranked third. Bitfinex is ranked fourth in the United States. The government is placed fifth. The sixth item is the first MicroStrategy lock. The eighth block is made up entirely of Kenks. Item the ninth generation US twins came in at number 10. This is a reasonably fascinating list, and there were bound to be a few surprises, such as the US government coming in at number 5. I was surprised by how much Bitcoin they have, and that's just the Bitcoin that is known about. As a result, they most certainly have more of the fact that they have more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy surprised me quite a bit. Grayscale startled me a little because it was the other one that Grayscale had more Bitcoin than Binance surprised me, which is also somewhat surprising. I just wanted to share this list with you since I thought it was quite cool, and I've never seen anything like it. Previously, one of these lists tailored exclusively to XRP owners is something I'd love to see. Fascinating, and in my opinion, the top 10 holders of XRP, however, are not as transparent. In my opinion, I'm aware that many institutions are more cautious about declaring the other cryptocurrencies they own in addition to Bitcoin for the sake of clarity. But if we ever get to see one of them, would be incredibly intriguing to witness. Wanted to draw your attention to this piques my interest. There are surely a few surprises on this list, and I believe we will see a lot more of these in the future. For further valuable digital assets, I'm interested in watching how the XRP list evolves in the future. I'm ready to go on at this moment and truly discuss the recently given news. Earlier today about C-Bank's new quick settlement solution that uses blockchain technology, I'm not going to get into whether or not this is a Ripple and XRP killer as a result. Similar news has previously been reported. Around the same time that JP Morgan produced its JP Morgan coin, everyone said that JP Morgan was one of the largest banks in the world. The Morgan coin was the first to be introduced. They seek to undermine everything Ripple and XRP are doing. Using the JP Morgan coin, it was discovered that none of this occurred in the end. Why then did that never occur? New Instance Resolution Service. All of the Citibanks and JP Morgan are centralized. Finally, platforms are essentially limited to communicating with their firms. Citibanks will only be able to settle transactions on this platform between other Citibank branches using the new coin. The JP Morgan coin is the same. It only functions on JP Morgan systems. It's important to remember that these are walled gardens because of this, and David Schwartz has previously given a direct address in this garden with a new coin. Walls are nothing new. They add nothing to what these enormous organizations already have. Their payment methods are little more than wall gardens. More than internal databases, but there is no true value transfer. Because this is only a single platform, you may be wondering why they're using blockchain technology to track money and audit payments. Although centralized blockchain technology still has advantages over the methods they are currently using, nothing is truly resolved here in terms of actually changing value in a new and imaginative way. But allow me to explain why this isn't exactly a danger to Ripple and Ethereum. We recently learned that Citibank is launching its coin-based speedy settlement system. JP Morgan will also have one, as previously stated. Furthermore, Morgan Stanley will most likely have its own, so it seems natural that each of these banks would want to have their internal settlement services, while competing with companies like Wells Fargo and Bank of America want their payments to be private, so they will not want to use public blockchains for much of what they have to deal with. Numerous internal issues are simply inappropriate to post on the open blockchain, so these internal private centralized blockchains have a very obvious application. And what just happened is we simply have a lot of walled gardens right now. These many banks each have their tokens. Thus, they won't be interested in each other's tokens from Bank of America, won't be accepted by Citibank. Citicoin will not be sought by Bank of America, and none of those banks will be interested in JP Morgan coins as well. As a result, there exist numerous coins in use at these several organizations, and no one wants to use someone else's. Fundamentally, nothing was resolved. You merely require unique pots, which we currently have to value each institution as of now. With these internal settlement blockchain platforms, a JP Morgan bank account can interact with a Bank of America bank account. Yet, because they are both centralized and private, they cannot collaborate. On open networks, which is in sharp contrast to everything XRP and Ripple have ever done, if each of these banks has its internal coin and mechanism, they will need a way to interact with one another, emphasizing the need for a bridge currency once more. What I've noticed is that each of these several banks, Citibank of America, JP Morgan, and so on, manufacturing its own money for internal use on its quick settlement platform, but in the end, these banks interact with one another and with institutions all over the world, thus impartial, decentralized liquidity will still be required between them for all of these purposes. Various banks do not wish to accept each other's coins to be liquid for all of the different internal currencies. You still need a bridge. Currency in this fashion, JP Morgan, simply needs to pass JP Morgan coins to the XRP. The Ledger Citibank coin then appears. They are never required to deal with one other's internal currency in this manner. They simply utilize XRP as a bridge in its place, albeit on a lower scale for organizations than we recommend XRP for nations, and I witnessed the same situation. Taking place in my perspective is simply another step in that direction. Citibank is not directly competing with Ripple or XRP in this scenario. It is an entirely separate internal settlement. Layers were never intended to be used. The concept of a private blockchain was never meant for companies or banks who do not wish to mimic what Citibank has done. Ripple is creating private XRP ledger versions. However, the Citibank solution retains the ability to connect to the public XRP ledger and use XRP as a neutral liquidity in the middle of transactions. Simply said, I believe this is an extremely important factor to understand. Because of the scale of Citibank, so many people are reacting strongly to this news, the platforms of all. The institutions will simply be used, and XRP and Ripple will cease to exist. This will never happen, folks. SWIFT is being abandoned by all of these institutions. Because these institutions and banks are continuously pitted against one another, they do not trust one another. Each one has a distinct internal design. Structure. Additionally, no one wants to lend money or do business with the other large bank, and the smaller banks are desperately attempting to avoid these powerful banks. They will never want to use these brand new monopolized platforms. We require impartiality and a level playing field for all of these internal systems, and XRP is currently positioned to provide that neutral level. The playing ground has completely changed. From what we are currently watching, the most important concept that you must get is that if I were to give you guys a very simple instance of what we are witnessing here, it would be comparable to a parking lot. And SID Bank's campus highways, but you won't be able to return home. Depot that won't bring you to the adjacent town, You'll need to take advantage of a level playing field to go to the town to get to the next location that works with all the different routes you'll need to use a neutral platform for public transit. What exactly is a public highway? In this case, the public road is the one, and XRP plays the role of that. Yes, all of the institutions hold a private piece of property that you cannot access. Simply driving onto the city's campus and turning around the facility reveals that they have private roads that are somewhat concealed from the public because they operate independently there, but this does not imply that a city does not require public highways. That doesn't mean the city can avoid using the roads. They must interact with the outside world, so we're dealing with two very different applications, and that's the point I'm trying to make. A city does not automatically avoid all external activity simply because it has an internal platform. The major use of blockchain by these huge banks and organizations is reshaping their internal settlement services with it, and as they do so, a larger push for external uses of blockchain technology will develop. Ripple is introducing XRP. In that position, XRP may change into pure liquidity for all of these various firms because, as I stated before, no matter what they produce, they will never be able to compete with what XRP is. Internally, because at the end of the day, these are all centralized organizations developing uncentralized systems, which is completely unrelated to what XRP is supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd want to conclude this movie with one more small chart. This piqued my interest a little because the recent Bitcoin bull run has been everything that it has been, and I thought the pattern we are in to be extremely concerning. Just pause the video now to see the similarity. And look at your screen every other year. Many people find it aggravating since prices don't vary significantly. Many people are dissatisfied with the lack of volatility. I remark when I look at a chart like this, it appears to me that this is just run for the course, and we may have a few more tedious months ahead of us. Price movement before we begin to grind higher and commence the new bull run, but it appears to me that there is nothing to be concerned about at the present. We're merely following the evolution, and we still have a few months until things get going again. We have a year's worth of build-up left, and I genuinely appreciate your presence. Please let me know if you enjoyed this update. Remember to like and subscribe if you do, as they are very important.